Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome and welcome back to our regular community. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 47,369, down 0.31%. Ethereum 34.47, down 3.19%. Let's have a quick look at asset and investment substitutability. The S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, up 34%, gold down 10%, Bitcoin up 333% for the past 12 months. Let's have a look at the news from the stance of somebody new to the crypto market. We're just going to read the headlines and understand if a new person would seek to buy or sell. Cryptocurrency latest news. Market on eToro booms as Dogecoin rival Shiba Inu coin spikes in value. Ooh, buy. Price. Bitcoin price prediction. Bulls struggle to recapture 48,500 as bears eye sub 46,000. We'll need to check that out later. Ooh, the beguiling promise of decentralized finance. Oh, look, it's Alice in Wonderland. Most people wouldn't know what that really means. Beguiling promise. Wow, that's kind of complex. Supervisor faces jail over Bitcoin mining at work. Wow, what a naughty person. Is that the guy? I see some hands on some bars. No, he's facing jail time. Can't be him. Bitcoin daily chart alert. Bulls have a better week. Oh, they're having a better week. I thought they were having a worse week. It's so confusing. Bitcoin, yeah, we've read that. One Bitcoin transaction creates as much waste as dumping 2 iPhones? Hang on a sec. How much energy does it take to dump 2 iPhones? Somebody doesn't like Apple. That's really bad, isn't it? Bitcoin forecast. Bitcoin bows. Oh, it's bowing. Oh, how very polite of Bitcoin. To critical resistance of 48,000. Oh, it's just showing its respect. And we'll check that out again anyway. Bitcoin continues to chop around the 48. Oh, it's now a chef. Before it was very polite. Now it's chefing, chopping, doing things. As Ether's exchange outflows spike. Ooh, I wonder what that means. OPTO sessions. Jeff Ross on Bitcoin as a store of value and using a stock to flow model. That is interesting. And a crypto newbie would look at that and say, I don't know what that means. Waste from one Bitcoin transaction is like binning 2 iPhones. What have they got against Apple today? Did Apple not meet earnings expectations? Oh, it's the Guardian. They're certainly not guarding Apple at the moment. We can see from the news headlines, that's a little bit plus and minus. We can see that there's a key $48,000 figure that keeps coming out here. We'll look at that in the technical analysis later. Turning to the KS model, a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we can see we're in the bull market psychology segment of the current market run. Higher prices are expected. There's a bit of mid-air refueling that's going on for the rocket at the moment as it races up to hit the moon. We can see these dips in past bull market performance. It's really important to compare sunshine of the bull market psychology to sunshine of the bull market psychology going back. If we compare psychological sunshine, which is optimism, to psychological darkness, which is the bear market, we're going to get very conflicting analysis. They're literally measuring 2 different psychological states. That can lead people to do very misleading analyses, not because they want to mislead, but just psychologically they're incomparable states. We also know that Bitcoin and crypto is incredibly volatile. A 10%, 20% drawdown on crypto is every other week. In the stock market, it's very, very infrequent. People coming across from the stock market to crypto get a very quick wake-up call that crypto is incredibly volatile. We're now going through a bit of volatility. It's important to keep that in mind. Zooming in on the current price action, we have quite a lot of support at 46,282 as well as 45,451. A lot of people say that if price falls, the bull market is over. It's not. If price falls below 39,600, we can consider that we may have a problem. If it stays above that level, we don't have a problem. From an alignment of on-chain metrics, we're expecting higher prices in this month. The volatility in the current crypto market is from the stock market. The quadruple witching is occurring. That's when we get 4 expirations all occurring at once. What is basically happening? There is typically an increase in volume and volatility in the stock market. All the markets are connected. This is really important to understand. I was mentioning previously that we may get a long tail rejection coming down here. If we do, that's a perfect opportunity to buy or catch a falling knife. In the stock market, it's really unadvisable or inadvisable to catch a falling knife because the stock market moves at the, at the pace of a snail. Crypto is not like that. You get a falling knife, within a couple of days it's repaired itself. The stock market can take months or even years to correct. That's why I love crypto so much. What we're seeing here is an attack on the $50,000 mark, this resistance level. It's not easy to do that, and so price needs to consolidate. We've had a really strong wave up. We're getting a consolidative wave at the current time. We're seeing this upward support line coming into play at 47,206. The current price of Bitcoin is 47,349. Even if we hit lower levels of support, for example, 46,566, 45,830, 45,268, and the 45,000 key psychological level, and even if we go down lower to 43,685, everything is still intact. There's a lot of volatility around the witching event, the quadruple witching. We got 4 witches together. They're having a party. Some of the key metrics we look at are the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio, SSR oscillator. This is actually showing? Stablecoins are flowing into the market and they've recommenced flowing back into Bitcoin. This is really, really important. If we saw a falling off the cliff of this blue line, that would associate with definite downward price pressure. We're not seeing this at the moment. This is very, very good for us to see. We can also see the futures open interest increasing. It's around, for example, the $15.7 billion mark. This is really good. An increase in open interest is associated with an increase in price. Over the past 24 hours, there's been about 318 million in liquidations occurring across 101,309 traders. In the past 12 hours, around 80% of those liquidations were long liquidations. Looking at Bitcoin options expiring at the end of the month, we can see max pain price $44,000, total open interest 62,456.6, and the put call ratio 0.54. For Ethereum options expiring at the end of the month, total open interest 425,291. The put call ratio is 0.65. Maximum pain price for Ethereum is $27.20. This is the price at which the majority of options expire worthless. It brings maximum pain to the option holders. Looking at crypto total market cap, the total market cap is currently $2.126 trillion, we can see this resistance line turn to support, but as Bitcoin came down, it broke this support and it turned into resistance. We still have a support line running through here. Now, when we look at total market, what are we actually looking at? If we go across to coin market cap, we're actually looking at over 11,800 cryptos. In fact, 11,814. Those 11,814 cryptos are represented in this one diagram. This tells us a lot. What we see here is a lot of volatility around the quadruple witching. The quadruple witching occurs on the third Friday of March, June, September, and December. The options, which expire monthly, and the futures, which expire quarterly, come together on these particular months. We have 4 options expirations and in the futures as well. So the stock options, the single stock futures, the stock index futures, and the stock index options. We get heavier volume and much more volatility. Volatility can typically be to the downside. I covered off a lot about the volatility of the quadruple witching in episode 250 and also in episode 249. Let's have a look at the top cryptos. Currently, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Tether, Binance Coin, Solana, XRP, Doge, and USDC. The greatest 24-hour percent gainers: Quant, AVAX, Elron, Tezos, Mina, Waves, HBAR, Ray, Atom, One, and Algo. Let's have a look at the greatest 7-day percent gainers. Okay, we can see CoinMarketCap has gone bananas again. Unfortunately, CoinMarketCap is the only site that I have found that can do the top 100 and limit it. There's a number of other sites, but they go through literally everything, which is a bit of a problem. Let's look at the greatest losses over the past 24 hours. We can see Arweave, eCash, Cello, Tel, IOTA, Rev, Perp, Phantom, and Icon. Let's see if it works on the 7 days. No, it doesn't. Okay, we'll have to skip that for today. We look at Binance derivatives, and this URL is in the description of the video if you would like it. Looking at 24-hour trading volume, 62.8 billion. 24-hour open interest, around 10 billion. Why we do this is we're seeking to understand price pressure. We can see Bitcoin is under negative price pressure, negative 1.3. Ethereum, much greater, negative 5%. This would be coming out in terms of the percentage gains. Now, let's have a look at the others. We're really keen to see anything above 10%. At the moment, there's not much. Basically, the crypto market is selling down at the moment. SHIB is up, audio, DYDX, and that's about it in terms of above 10%. Let's flip around the other way. Here we can see quite a few. When we see this, the market is selling off hard. The greatest losses: Sushi, HBAR, Synthetics, GTC, Solana, Luna, 0x, One, CRV, Bell, Aave, SKL, Ocean, Tomo, 1inch, Icon. What this is basically showing us is negative price momentum. This is an analysis of the top 33 cryptos on Binance. What we can see here, this is Algo up in front, up 61.76% over the past 14 days. We can see also Atom, it's coming up. AVAX is also coming up. XTZ is going down, it's under negative price momentum, as are a lot of the others. When it comes to trading in a bear market, what we see is money focusing, almost concentrating on a couple of names. It's actually really easy to trade in a bear market. I'll show you much more about that later when we get into a bear market, but bear markets are nothing to be scared about, and you don't have to short either. Turning to Ethereum on the daily basis, we can see that the relative strength is actually improving in Ethereum. We can see the technicals on Ethereum are very strong. Ether's doing really well. Price is coming down to the 26 EMA around 34.10. We've got very strong support at the 32.34 level. Just keep that one in mind. That's on a daily basis. Ethereum is currently trading at 34.52. We can see this upward support line. It now has become resistance, but we're moving into the quadruple witching, so we understand the volatility in the markets will be pretty excessive, but there's nothing realistically to be concerned about. We can see very good support levels for ETH at 33.94, 33.19, 32.34, 31.30, 30.87, 29.88 and 29.08. Buying these long tail rejections, catching the falling knife. Wow, what a fantastic thing to do. I know a lot of people are worried about a crash. Let's just have a quick look through the stock markets. We can see China is coming up. There was some very large concerns in China. It's very important to understand China's government is not like Australia's government or India's government or indeed many other countries around the world. China can basically direct particular companies to do as it wishes. It has that authority. With the current issues that are occurring in China, they're probably going to just result in a lot more money printing. It's very good that the Chinese market is partially green today. It's showing that at least it wasn't red. Having a look at the US markets, having a look at the NASDAQ futures, the S&P 500 futures, the Russell 2000 and the Dow Jones futures, we can see a little bit of a tick up in the Russell 2000. We can see the Dow Jones ticking down, the S&P and the NASDAQ ticking down. If we had particular problems around the world that were a great cause of concern, we'd see a very large drop. We're not seeing anything like that at the moment. The VIX, which is the fear gauge of the stock market, is currently registering an uptick, but it's not a decisive uptick such as this. That is a decisive uptick. That's the last quadruple witching, 18th of June. What we can see here is there is indecision. The trend is down for the fear gauge. Let's see how this plays out, but it's certainly not taking off. The VIX is incredibly volatile. Another thing to bear in mind, the weekend is coming up. That can lead to thin trading volume in crypto. We do need to keep our eye on the bond market and yields in correlation with Bitcoin and the central market indexes. What happens with bonds? You can see the bond prices go parabolic before the markets, that is before the markets start to come down. You see the parabolic increase here. This is the NASDAQ in green. The NASDAQ came down later. The bond price was increasing exponentially before. There's an inverse correlation between bonds and yields. The yields, as bonds go up exponentially, yields plummet exponentially. We'll just have a quick look into the bond futures and the yields. We can see the bonds, treasury bonds, have currently detected a downtick at the moment. That's quite good. When we look at the TLT, we can see that the bond prices have actually come back below that support. This is looking like a failed breakout. When we actually go and look at the candles, we can see that breakout was quite weak when it came down for the retest, and it was collapsing down below. This is tending to point towards that the bond prices are going to be heading lower. We do need to keep our eye on things, but it's giving off that indication. Bond prices are currently under this resistance and under that resistance. We can also see that the bond yields are starting to increase. They were coming down because they move inversely to bond prices. This is really good. Just one thing about bonds and the stock market that might be worth discussing. As of August 2020 for the global bond market and November 2020 for the global stock market, bonds are substantially larger than stocks. That's not quite well known. A lot of people think that bonds are pretty insignificant. Actually, they're very large, and this doesn't take into account all the money printing that has been happening, but it does give you a sizing understanding. What typically happens when the stock markets are under stress, money flows into the bond market, and when stocks are under stress, crypto becomes under stress, and it also attracts funds into the bond market. When things are going well, the money from the bond market seeks a higher return in stocks or crypto. Crypto is a tiny industry, just $2 trillion. Look at stocks, 95 trillion, bonds 128 trillion. You can see how easy it would be for 10% of stocks and 10% of bonds to create a crypto-sized market, double the size of gold's market capitalization. Just one final thing, we can look at the oil. Oil is economically sensitive. In downturns, oil tends to plummet. It just basically drops like a brick towards zero. Actually, oil went negative in the last crisis. We can see oil is actually improving, increasing in price. This is an actual good sign in terms of the health of the overall market. We're not seeing any crash-based activity at the moment. I'd like to do a shout out to Chris S., who shared Messario.news. Messario is MESSARI.io/news. This is really quite fascinating stuff. I'd also like to thank Crypto Badger, who recommended BTCtools.io. Particularly, Crypto Badger mentioned this live Fear and Greed Index. All you do is go to btctools.io, click on the Fear and Greed tab, and then you can see a live change in fear and greed. Thank you, Crypto Badger. What a great site. If anyone has nice sites, things that are helpful, please reach out to me directly on Twitter or Facebook and just let me know. You can always direct message me. I'd like to thank the very generous and kind community members that have reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. I'd just like to do a shout out to Michael, Diane, and Badger for their very nice comments and their very much appreciated generosity. We have an amazing community of people. I'm really looking forward to the day when we can all get together and have a coffee together. How cool would that be? Or potentially something stronger. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.